everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic with a bit of a medical twist, the incredible history of blood transfusions. It's a story filled with bold experiments, scientific breakthroughs, and a bit of drama. So, grab a comfy seat and let's get started. Let's rewind the clock all the way back to the 17th century. Picture this. It's the year 1665 in Oxford, England. A pioneering British doctor named Richard Lower is conducting some wild experiments. He's trying out blood transfusions using animals. Imagine the scene, doctors in their big, puffy wigs and all kinds of scientific gadgets as they attempt something that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. But hold on to your seats because things get even more interesting in Paris just a couple of years later, in 1667. A French physician named Jean Baptiste Denis, who was actually the personal doctor to King Louis XIV, steps up to the plate. He decides to try something daring. He transfuses a sheep's blood into a man named Antoine Mauroy, who was a bit of a local character, known for running around Paris in the nude. Denis hoped this transfusion would cure Mauroy, but unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. Mauroy succumbed to complications after a few attempts. Denis was a big believer in using animal blood for transfusions, thinking it might be purer than human blood, which he thought was tainted by human flaws. However, this method was deemed highly controversial and eventually banned by various medical institutions, including the prestigious Royal Society in England and medical faculties in Paris and Rome. Fast forward to the 18th century, where we see some pivotal shifts. By 1788, researchers Pontic and Landois discover that transfusing blood between animals of the same species actually yields much better results. This breakthrough suggested that transfusions could indeed be beneficial and might even save lives. Now, the big leap forward comes in 1818. James Blundell, a trailblazing English physician, makes history by performing the very first successful human-to-human blood transfusion. He'd already been testing on animals and was ready to try his techniques on humans, helping women suffering from postpartum hemorrhage. It was a huge step forward and opened the door for future advancements. As blood transfusions were catching on, they still faced quite a few hurdles. One of the biggest challenges was dealing with blood coagulation and adverse reactions. Some people even tried using milk and blood from cadavers. Yikes, right? But don't worry, science was on the case. They developed indirect transfusion techniques and even tried direct transfusion methods, where they'd connect the artery of the donor to the vein of the recipient. This was called the arm-to-arm method. It sounds like something out of a medieval fantasy, but it was a real-life attempt to save lives. Now, let's talk about a game-changer, the discovery of blood types. In 1900, Austrian immunologist Karl Landsteiner made a groundbreaking discovery that would change everything. He figured out that people's blood can react differently when mixed, leading to the identification of the ABO blood group system. This was massive because it meant we could start matching blood types to avoid dangerous reactions. And the excitement doesn't stop there. In 1940, scientists made another key discovery, the Rh factor. They found that most people have a specific protein on their red blood cells called the Rh factor, while others don't. This discovery helped us understand even more about blood compatibility. If you're Rh positive, you have this protein. If you're Rh negative, you don't. With these discoveries, the focus shifted to how to manage and store blood. Before long, scientists were developing anticoagulants and preservative solutions to keep blood usable for longer periods. The first official blood bank was set up in Barcelona in 1936, during the Spanish Civil War. This was a major milestone, as it allowed for the collection and preservation of blood on a much larger scale. This idea really took off during and after World War II, transforming the way medical professionals could access blood supplies and ultimately saving countless lives. So, there you have it, an incredible journey through the history of blood transfusions. Stethoscope from those early experiments with animal blood to the development of sophisticated blood banks, it's amazing to see how far we've come in medical science. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into medical history as much as I did. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more awesome content, and drop a comment below with any topics you'd love to see next. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.